People used to be really pessimistic about Africa's economic prospects as recently as 10 or 12 years ago. And now, whenever I pick up a magazine about African business, I find nothing but optimism. People are upbeat. They feel over the last 10 to 12 years, half a dozen countries have started to move forward in a very serious way in terms of sustained growth rates. The question is, can it last? What's it based on? One of the things that is central to this is the fact that higher level of industrial capabilities will need to be attained over the next decade if these growth rates are going to be sustained. And moving forward to that level of industrial capability involves major challenges. And to understand the prospects for that, what policies need to be in place in order to let it happen, you need facts. I've worked over the past 20 years in mapping out industries and their development, and there are certain kinds of information sources that are always available that I think of as raw material that I start from. And in sub-Saharan Africa, this just was not available. And having fooled around for years wondering how to get around this, in the end I decided the only thing was to create it myself. And the idea of the book was just to stay away from the economic controversies and the things that people argue about, and just say, look, if you actually want to know what industrial capabilities are on the ground in Ethiopia or Ghana, here it is in a book, industry by industry, chapter by chapter, telling you what exactly firms are currently capable of doing in the industry, what the problems of the industry are, how the industry developed over time, and then giving detailed profiles of leading companies in the industry. So you end up with an understanding not only of what the capabilities are, but where they came from. BK Amandi runs the largest steel fabrication operation in Ghana. He started his life as a young man in a village who decided to come down to Accra, and he began scavenging waste aluminium from the local aluminium plant. And he was found by some executives. He tells the story himself, and they very kindly explained that they were very glad to have somebody taking away this unwanted waste, but what was he doing with it? Turned out he was making pots and pans in his uncle's house and selling them. They said, well, actually, we could show you how to make them better than that. And that sparks off a chain of events that led him eventually coming to the UK, studying in companies how to process aluminium better, going back, setting up a very successful mid-sized aluminium firm. But that was only act one of the story. It's that kind of intimate knowledge of what comes from where are my inputs, how are they sourced, who's sourcing them, who are my potential competitors, where did they get their inputs. This is a great business map. This is a great business. This is the kind of rock on which you build industrial development.